Norma Torres was 5 years old when she came to the United States from Guatemala, where she was born. Today, she said, making the decision to migrate is not easy, and migrants know that the journey is risky. They are coming here because they have no other choice. Their governments have failed to protect them from gangs or allow them to the possibility of a decent life. Norma Torres is now a member of the House of Representatives representing the 35th Congressional District in California, and she joins our discussion now. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. This is a very painful subject, and I wanted to get your reaction to the administration's reaction, which is to blame this father for trying to get himself and his daughter into this country.
Thank you, Lawrence, for the opportunity to be here with you today. This is an ongoing problem with this administration, is that they continue to pivot and the irresponsible way in which they have been treating migrants, people that should be considered refugees at our southern border. They murdered this child. They did that. They murdered the 18-month-old little girl that died a few days after they released her back in June, and they murdered many other children, and they're separating families, and they must be held accountable.
The dehydration, severe dehydration like this cannot be dealt with just water. And yet they are out there destroying the water supplies that Good Samaritans put out there for people who find themselves in these situations.
Absolutely. Anyone who has suffered with the flu and has had minor dehydration understands that this is a big problem. You cannot simply drink water or drink your way out of severe dehydration. The signs were there. They failed to see the signs. They asked her father if he needed health care. How did they ask his father? He is from an indigenous community. He is not bilingual. He
speaks a tribal language, not Spanish.
He absolutely speaks a tribal language.
Yeah.
Yes.
And when the Democrats take over the House of Representatives next month, I assume this is the kind of thing that you will be investigating.
Absolutely. The last 2 years of this administration has been head in the sand approach. They have failed every step of the way at holding ICE accountable and holding border agents accountable for what they have been doing. In January 3rd, when Democrats take over, we are prepared to begin the process of holding them accountable, holding hearings, and getting to the truth of the matter that they are treating children and families like we would not treat anyone, not even animals, the way they are treating these children.
And the president is using these kinds of stories as an argument for the wall. He's saying if you had the wall there, then no one would even attempt to do this.
This is the problem, the ignorance of what is happening in our southern border. We have refused to allow these families to present themselves to a border agent at a border crossing. He has gone as far as shutting down major border crossings and therefore leaving them no other choice but to take on to the desert area where no plant life, no animal life can survive. Yet this little girl was there, and that is where they found her.
When the Democrats do have control of Congress and they do have subpoena power over cases like this, will you just want to talk to the Secretary of Homeland Security, or will you want to get into specifically who was involved in making these decisions on the ground at the border?
Absolutely. We want to know who was involved. We want to know how they came to discover these 167 individuals. We want to know, specifically, I want to know, how did they make the decision knowing that this child was sick? The father said that she had started vomiting before they got on the bus, yet they chose to put her on the bus for a 3-hour drive, and by the time they got to their destination, she was unconscious. The helicopter that they ordered after a 3-hour bus ride should have been ordered prior to that.
Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on the button below for more from The Last Word and the rest of MSNBC.